Hi everyone, welcome back to Thrifted Living. My name is Kieran. In today's video, I'm going to be working on something I've wanted to work on for a while, and that is going to be painting the front walkway to our house. Right now, it's just like concrete with just like a plain concrete sealer on it, but I want to use some stencils that I found at Dollar Tree and some spray paint and actually like create like a pattern on the walkway. So let me share with you what it looks like right now. So here are the steps to the walkway, and this is what I want to paint today. It does have some cracks in it, but it doesn't really matter to me. I'm gonna pull some of these weeds out and try to create like a pattern with spray paint leading up to the steps like that, and then also going around on this side as well. So yeah, I have a couple stencils at Dollar Tree. Let me show you what those look like. So this is what the stencil looks like. It's actually like a stencil wheel, and it's the Crafter's Square brand from Dollar Tree. On the back, it has a few different kinds of stencils. Let me actually try to take the front part off so you guys can see it a little better. So here are the 4 different patterns for the stencil. I kind of like this one and this one. I'm kind of thinking about maybe using 2 stencils together. I bought several of these and I plan on cutting them out and then attaching them, kind of trying to attach them in a similar style as this. But my gut is telling me to do this one, but I also really do like this one as well. So I might try to see if I can connect them and see if I can come up with a pattern that I like. So I do like this one too and that one, but I don't know. I'm kind of drawn to this one and this one, but let me know in the comments which one your favorite is. So Sean and I decided we like this one right here in the corner. So I'm going to try cutting that out first, and then I'm going to try to attach them. So here's one, and Sean was actually suggesting like alternating it. So I'm going to try to cut that out and see how that looks. He was saying do one this way and then the next one like opposite. I like that too. Yeah, I think I like that. All right, so I'm going to cut out a few more of those. So I just got a ruler and I'm going to measure the space in between the 2 sections to make sure that it's even. I'm actually going to open this tape as well. It's funny, the tape is a ruler too. One thing I'm noticing is that it's not as long this way. So it's like, it's not as wide as it is tall. So I feel like it's going to have to be centered. I'm just going to put a piece of tape on it just to get an idea without it moving. This is like a masking tape because I want to be able to remove it if needed. Let's see how far it is between that. Almost exactly 1 inch. I can alternate it from being this part at the top with like this circle here to it being flipped, so that does give it a little bit of a different look. I think that this is going to be my stencil. So after I made the stencil, I went outside and removed some of the grass that was growing in the different parts of the sidewalk, and then I swept everything just to have like a clean surface. So this is the part of the video where I share with you something that didn't work. I tried using the stencil with spray paint and it did not work at all. I don't know why I thought it was going to work. It sprayed all over the place. The nozzle, I think that's what you would call it, got clogged really fast, and I wasn't even able to use the spray paint after like 5 minutes. So this part of the project was a fail, but I promise you I do share with you a way that works a little bit later in this video. Good morning everyone. So I am going to try a project that I had been working on before. I'm going to try it again. So I wouldn't say last week, I tried painting the sidewalk using stencils from Dollar Tree, and I actually didn't use the right kind of material. I decided to use spray paint and it made a mess. So I'm going to try painting again with the stencils from Dollar Tree, but I'm going to try using a sponge brush like I did for the pumpkin project. So let me share with you what it looks like right now. So this is the start of the project, and it was going okay, but then sort of like paint got all over the place and was outside of the stencil. So I am going to try, an airplane is going over right now. I am going to try painting this with the same paint that I had for the steps. Glidden Fundamentals Black Exterior Paint. So I'm going to try using
this rolling brush to paint this whole section. I'll paint over that again, and then I'm going to bring out the stencil and try using the same paint but in white and sort of like sponging it on. So let's start by painting this black.
Like I said earlier, this is the paint that we are using on our porch. We aren't done painting that yet, but I have been sort of taking breaks from that every once in a while just because I like to always be working on something different. But it did a really nice job of covering up the mistake that I made with the spray paint, and it really did a good job covering up the entire walkway and just made it look a little more even. So I went through and just applied one coat pretty much to the entire walkway.
Alright, so I finished painting. I think it looks pretty good. It's not going to be perfect, but that is fine with me. So now I'm going to let this dry, and then I will come back out with the stencil and paint the pattern. Alright, so it's a couple hours later, and the paint is dry. Looks really nice. It's not perfect, but again, I don't really need it to be perfect. Just trying to make it look a little fancy out here. So that is dry. So I made this stencil. I'm going to share this at the beginning of the video. I made this stencil with stencils that I got from Dollar Tree, and I really like it. I had tried to use it with spray paint. It did not work. So that's why it's kind of covered in paint. But I'm going to use this on here to stencil a pattern. And I'm actually going to use this paint. This is Glidden, I think is what it's called. Grab and Go white exterior paint. It's the same type of paint that we had in the black, but it's just in the white, so it's an exterior paint. And I also got some sponges at Dollar Tree. They're kind of cool because they have like a little grip spot right here. So I'm going to try using these to like apply the paint. And then I also have these sponge brushes to see if maybe that might work too. So let's get started.
It took me a few tries, but I did find a way of applying the paint that works. I tried a couple different tools for this. The first thing I tried using was a sponge, like a kitchen sponge that I bought at Dollar Tree, and it just really didn't apply the paint very evenly, and I honestly felt like it was making more of a mess. So then I tried using some sponge brushes that I found at Dollar Tree in the crafting section, but the sponge wasn't strong enough to really apply the paint evenly. So I finally decided to use a paintbrush, and that I think was the best method for painting. I ended up using a smaller paintbrush, a much smaller paintbrush than the one I'm using here, just because I felt like it had more control of how the paint was applied, but I'm happy to say I did find something that worked, and I really loved how it looked when I was able to remove the stencil the first time. There were a few mistakes, but I think overall it looked really good.
So here are the first couple sections, and it doesn't look perfect, but I kind of like how it's like not super perfect. There are some spots I'm going to need to fix, but yeah, overall I think it looks pretty good, and I'm just going to keep on going.
So once I was happy with how the first couple stencils looked, I then went through and did more. As I said, I found a smaller paintbrush, which was definitely helpful because I was able to sort of apply the paint evenly, but the bristles were also able to get through the stencil a little bit better than any of the other tools had been able to do. And I was really happy with how it looked. I think it looks really cool and just like an interesting walkway pattern. I had been inspired to do something like this for a while, but I hadn't found a stencil that I really liked. And so I went to Dollar Tree, and I knew I would find something there, and I was really happy with the pattern I was able to make with this stencil. It is a long process. I actually kind of found it relaxing. I just, listened to some YouTube videos or listened to some music and sat outside and painted, and it was actually kind of nice. I did spend a few days on this project, and I really am happy with how it looks. I do have to go through and do a couple little fixes here and there, but otherwise I think it looks really nice, and it really updates the walkway. I think it just makes the walkway look really unique and interesting, and I'm really happy with how this looks.
Good morning, everyone. It is the next day, And I wanted to share with you what I was able to get done yesterday on the sidewalk. I think it looks really, really good. So I wanted to share with you the end product of this DIY once everything was completed, but as you can see, I haven't been able to finish the whole walkway. The weather's been kind of on and off with rain, and like it's been really hot, so I just figure I'm going to share this with you guys in like steps. This is what the walkway looks like right now. I love it. I think it looks so cool. I used Dollar Tree stencils that I connected with masking tape, and then I just used some exterior paint that I already had on hand. I went over the bottom with the black paint first, and then I let that dry, and then I started with the white paint, and I think it looks so good. I do want to go back here and do more, and then like I want to go all the way back with that, and then I also want to finish it up all the way down here, but it's supposed to rain today, and every other day it's been really, really hot, so I haven't been able to finish this project, unfortunately. But I thought I would share this sort of like a part one with you guys. I really love it. I think it looks really cool. I definitely had a hard time at the beginning, like you can see right there. That one, as you can see, it's a little bit messy, but I sort of was able to find like the pattern that worked for me, and anytime that there was like a crack in the ground, I just sort of like painted through it. I didn't really worry too much about it. I feel like you can't really notice the cracks in the pavement. But yeah, I think it looks really cool. Let me know what you guys think. I'm really happy with how it looks so far.